Hello fans, viewers, subscribers, welcome back to me, Ruku, joining me with some more beer reviews. Today I have a lot to get through today with this beer review. I'll explain in just a moment. First of all, we have two shout outs that I'm going to do. First number one shout out is to Evie. If you're watching Evie, the reason why I'm giving you a shout out on this channel is because you subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I just think it's great that you are my youngest viewer that I know of. So congratulations Evie, you're my youngest viewer so far. And the second shout out goes to Dave, who loves this beer and I know will hopefully appreciate this. So Dave, if you're watching, this one's also for you. Right, so shout outs over. What we have here is a Czech beer. So this beer comes from the Czech Republic. I don't know if you can see, but it is called Kozel. There you go, Kozel, and it's got a goat holding what looks like a 2-pinter. Kozel actually translates to the word male goat. This comes in at 4.6 and is a 500ml. Don't know if we're going to get this on camera. Oh shit, need to drop my other phone. Alright, there you go, 4.6, 500ml. And don't drink and drive. Clearly, don't drink and drive. So, that's the Czech beer. I will come to it in just a moment. This beer is steeped in absolute history and awards, which I will run through briefly. So, for those that you like your history, you should be, intrigued. There you go. There's your cap. Kozel is the goat holding the pint with a very nice gold cap and a brown outlay. It's pretty funky. Pretty funky indeed. Right, so before I start the review, on with history, got a lot to get through, so I'm going to narrow this down slightly. So, I can't pronounce the name of the brewery, but it is this long word here. Venklopopoviki. I don't know how you pronounce that, but there it is. A big long word going around the top there above the goat's head. That is the name of the brewery. So the brewery is obviously in Czech Republic and it has been produced since 1874. It was founded by František Ringhofer, and it's situated in the southeast of Prague. The symbol is a goat, which as we know means a male goat. The company was bought by Sab Miller in 2002 and then sold to Asahi Breweries in 2016. And if you're into your breweries, you will know that Asahi, the Japanese beer, is now also owned by InBev. So basically InBev now own Kozel because they own Asahi. So yeah, that's pretty bad. Everything is owned by InBev nowadays. I don't think there's many beers that aren't. The first mention of the brewery dates back to the 14th century in a province, as we know today, has origins in the 19th century after years of disagreements. And the gradual decline of the brewery was bought by the rich industrial tycoon František Ringhofer. So the guy who basically bought the brewery was wealthy. He had lots of money. The brewery was built in 1875, and the first batch of Kozel beer was brewed in previous years. The brewery, thanks to its owner, introduced new technologies, giving rise to its modern history. And the turn of the 20th century, brew passed through its second major reconstruction. When its production capability or capacity was increased to 90,000 hectolitres per year from the original 18,000 in the beginning. So since this wealthy guy has taken over this brewery, he has just brewed and brewed and brewed and brewed and brewed. I believe you me, that's a lot of beer. The history goes back to the First and Second World War with this brewery. First World War, it survived. Had obviously a little bit of damage, but nothing major. It became famous for its dark beer, 14 Bock beer. Second World War brought restrictions on the product and the beer for all breweries, and the brewery had its problem requiring raw materials needed for production of beer because of the war. Things like hops, yeast and all that I can assume would have been rationed. You probably couldn't even get them even. So it suffered. After the war, the brewery was nationalised and faced lack of workers in 1951. Therefore, the management completely solved the problem by employing the first ever women in brewery. So they then introduced women brewers, again probably because of the war efforts. The bottling was exclusively in female hands, and in 1965 Kozel delivered the world's first beer in tank trucks and gave rise to traditional tank braziers. After 30 years of socialism, the brewery achieved independence in 91 and in 92 became a public limited company in 2002. Kozel merged with the brewery Radegast and the Pilsner Urquell brewery, and Sabmiller in 2016 was one of the brands sold by Sabmiller to Asahi, aka InBev. So there you go. It's won loads of awards, so I'm not going to tell you all, but basically 2012 it got first in Czech Republic. 2011 it got second and first. Two second places and a first place in Czech Republic and also Austria. 2010 it got third place in the World Cup Beer USA, second place in Austria and Australia, second place in Australia and Austria again, second place in Australia and Austria again, so it's got like 3 places, second places in Australia and Austria. First place in Czech, second place in Czech. 2009 we have a certificate of quality in Czech Republic. First place in Czech Republic twice. Third place in Czech Republic, and then 2008 another certificate of quality. First place in the Czech Republic again. Second place and third place in Australia and Austria. 2006 it got second place again in Czech Republic. First place in the Monday selection in Belgium, happy days. Second place again in Belgium for the Monday selection. Second place in Monday selection for Belgium again. This is all in 2006. 2005, second place in Belgium, and then it just goes on and on right all the way back to 2001, basically, where it's just won multiple first place awards, and it even dates back. Dark Beer of the Year, Reader's Choice in Czech Republic from 95 to 97, and then again in 99. So there you go, that's all the history I have on this beer, so hopefully you've learned something, and if you haven't, you'll probably learn something about this beer. Right, I'm aware it's 7 minutes into this and I still haven't had a drop, so let's crack on before Prohibition starts. Looks wise, it's very dark, it's gentle stream of bubble, you can't really see, I will lift you up in just a moment. The head is small, watery looking, but very foamy, could probably hold its own. Smells very, very malty. Slight digestive, biscuity, Cheerios, that kind of region. Hints of musk here and there, but hopefully the smell will be, will just be a little bit, rather than, I'm hoping the taste will be better. Yep, that is so good. That is very, very smooth, incredibly malty. You then get a bitter taste also, so the malt and the bitter kind of work well in hand. So the first sip you get is a nice malt taste. I don't think it's a sweet malt taste, but it's that sort of biscuity malt. And then comes in this bitter at the end, and the bitter stays with you. You then get a little tiny bit of hop on the after finish along with that bitter as well. So the bitter remains, the bitter stays on the tongue. The beer itself is incredibly smooth, and I wonder why it's won so many awards. I would give it, at least 1 or 2 awards for being smooth. Carbonation wise, it's not very carbonated in the mouth. If I burp, sign of a good beer. Carbonation in the mouth is gentle, smooth. The beer itself I don't think is crisp, but it is quite refreshing. When you really want to work the carbonation in the mouth, it is small bubbles floating around. So let's lift you up. You can't really see it, I don't think, but there is a gentle stream flowing just in there. The head is diminished, as you can see, it's gone down, but the lacing around the beer is very, very good indeed. Look at that, it just sticks to the glass. So yeah, it's a good head. Look at that, just sticking to the glass. The head had gone down a lot actually, considering when we first started, but never mind. it's a nice easy beer to drink. To be fair, this is a nice chill out beer for me. This would be one if I'm watching football or sports, anything like that. Or to be honest with you, if I'm having a meal especially, this would be an ideal beer with a meal because it's so light, it's non-gassy, it's smooth, you know. So even if you had a roast dinner on a Sunday, grab one of these, I'll tell you what, do the job nicely, and wash it down very well. What would I score Kozel? It's not a bad beer actually, not a bad beer. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. I think, you know, I'm scoring it quite highly purely because it's smooth. There's not much in the way of taste, but I'm just giving it extra points because it's smooth, it's gentle. But the taste is only like major like 3 flavours coming through, and that's bitter, malt, and a little bit of hop at the end. So there you go. Dave and Evie, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I'm now going to sign off and enjoy the rest of this. Join me next time, fans, for more beer reviews. And if you too, like Dave and Evie, want a shout out, let me know or comment in the box down below, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. So thanks for watching, and join me next time for some more beer reviews.